the only coat of primer, only doing one of those. Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. We're converting our 144-inch wheelbase Mercedes Sprinter into our future tiny home. This week we built out our garage, which involved building our bed frame, our garage walls, the wheel well boxes, as well as installing our first light switch and outlets. And with that, let's get into it.
I cannot be drugged, no I won't have it, babe, not playing this game. I do not feel young, I'm not crossing that tape, it would be a shame. So listen baby, listen carefully, 'cause I got something to say. I feel us fading, listen carefully, let's stop this charade, stop this charade. Stop this charade.
Okay, so I just finished up prepping these 2x10s. These are going to be ultimately be the bed frame. These are attaching to the frame of the van itself, and then everything else from the bed will attach to these.
Is what we deserve. So listen, baby, listen carefully, 'cause I got something to say. I feel us fading, listen carefully, let's stop this charade, stop this charade.
So yesterday, Danielle and I put up half of the bed frame, and the other half still needs to go up over there. Right now, it's only being held up with 2 bolts, so I am gonna go ahead and put the final 4 into this thing to hold it up.
I would give you the world if it was up to me. It's not too late to be heard, so tell me what I need to know. Tell me what I need to know, and stop this charade.
So I am currently cutting out the garage walls out of 1/2-inch plywood. Yesterday, Danielle and I attached the bed frame, really the foundation of the bed frame, to the frame of the van itself. And we attached the bed framing to the van using M8 rivnuts. So if you were around last time we used rivnuts for the solar panels, you know that didn't go so well. So this time around, I gave myself a practice rivnut to make sure that there was really no difference in how the rivnuts went in, being a different size, and there wasn't. So I was able to get all of those in, no problems, and get that bed framing attached. So after that, I started reattaching all of the wall framing pieces because I had to take the wall framing off in order to get the bed frame on. And then in reattaching the wall framing, I'm also going ahead and using rivnuts for that as well. Previously, I had just used self-tapping screws, so the rivnuts should provide a lot more strength to the wall framing. So I think that's it. That's caught up to where we are at this point for the bed frame and garage. And right now, I'm gonna move on to the next step for the garage walls, which is cutting out the shape of the wheel well.
Don't force me out of bed in your society. Don't push me down the road you're playing down. Don't try to fix my head, it's just your anxiety. Don't hush me now, 'cause I just wanna shout.
bed's in. No, this definitely wasn't the first attempt. I probably had to do 5 or 6 adjustments to get it in, but looks really good. Fits pretty flush everywhere, so yeah, on to the next side. Okay, so now that I have the driver's side wall fitting really well, I'm going to use that as a template for the passenger side wall. And then once I get that fit in there, the only thing I'll have left to do is to drill a couple holes in each wall to get the wires through for all the wiring in the garage.
You can't keep me in a cage made of tired ideas. It's rusting out faster by the day. I won't wear your leash, I won't take no deals. I won't stay quiet when there's so much left to say. I'm not buying no mirage of suburban life when there's a fire raging just outside our door. You talk about peace on earth and the summer of love while you're sleeping on pills through the war. Get out your bomb and fly away. We'll be dancing with our hands in the air when our new dawn is rising. We'll be dancing with our hands in.
Okay, so I still have a few things to do to this passenger side garage wall before I'm ready to paint it. So I need to add this AC outlet here and this DC outlet here. And I also am waiting on a switch for the garage LEDs, but it's just not here yet, so I'm not adding that today.
We'll be dancing. We'll be dancing to the break of dawn.
The light switch came in, so I'll be able to figure out where I want to put that now. So with the bed frame and garage walls primed and all the necessary holes cut in, I was able to start painting. I went with the white for these that is going to be covering the majority of the interior of our van. I'm still waiting on rib nuts to come in, and when that happens, this side of the bed frame will be attached with 6 bolts, just like the driver's side is. So we are starting another day on the build on a rather chilly morning. There's a storm rolling in. So the next couple days are going to be about 60 degrees, which is a nice change of pace from the high 90s of the past week or so. So hopefully this weather will be a little more conducive to getting some stuff done on the van. Yesterday, Danielle and I worked on wiring in the AC outlet in the garage as well as the switch for the garage lights. I'm still waiting on some connectors so I can wire in the DC outlet. So today I'm going to be working on the driver's side wheel well, getting that insulated first, and then working on building the box that will go around the wheel well.
We got time on our side. We're in a state of hope. I need you on my fire. I want you to know that every time you're away, I long for you so much I can find my way. We got everything here, at least to stay alive. And the time that we share makes it all worthwhile. Got this place on our own. Do you feel that we got something strong?
Finish up the box here. It's not screwed in or connected anywhere, it's just all loose. Oh, see, loose, gotta be careful. I made it out of 3/4 ply that we had left over from our floor build, but all the pieces are cut. I did have to remake this top piece because I cut it undersized and I just couldn't save it. And I'll be able to reuse the piece that I undersized in a shelf in the kitchen. So that's good, not putting stuff to waste. It's way too expensive to do that. So I'm gonna put in some pocket holes now. That's what I'll use to assemble it when we come to that. And then I'll get the first coat of primer down.
We got time on our side. We're in a state of hope. I need you on my fire. I want you to know that every time you're away, I long for you so much I can find my way. And I saw you walking the line, and the truth may come as a surprise. That with you I feel alive. You will be the last one I think about.
This morning I'm continuing work on the wheel well boxes. I have the driver's side box now painted and ready to be assembled. Yesterday I didn't film it, but I got the 2x2 framing cut out for the passenger side box, and I got that primed as well. And today I'm going to be working on getting the 1/2-inch plywood cut out for the passenger side box that will go on the outside of the framing. I created a frame for the passenger side box, but not for the driver's side box, because the passenger side is where our electrical system is going to be. So that box is going to have the battery sitting on top of it, as well as our inverter attached to the side of it. So that needs to be a bit stronger in order to support those components.
Surrounded on a ship of fools, sail away across the water, set the pace, and discover every ocean, every sea, forever and a day for you and me.
About halfway through cutting these boards for the box, and you've been seeing me use this setup with this aluminum piece and the clamps here, and that's so I can get like really straight cuts. And it's not super critical that the cuts on the wheel well box are like super straight and square and everything, but it is going to be really critical to make straight and square cuts when it comes to making the cabinetry, especially all the drawers that we're going to have. So I'm just practicing right now with this to work out all the kinks of using this system. And one of the biggest things I've had to work out is the offset that I need to adjust my final dimension by, and I'll show you what I mean by that. So I have this set up and clamped down. That edge is right along the pencil line, So now I'll go ahead and make the cut and you'll see the offset that I need to work with. So here we are, and you can see that it does not cut directly along where that edge is, and that's just because of how the guard on the saw interacts with, you know, being up against here, and then the guard of the saw, and then where the blade is. I found that that offset is 3/16 of an inch, which is a pretty annoying dimension to have to adjust all of my final dimensions by to, you know, make sure that I'm getting the right size. So yeah, just working with the system, figuring out how to work with it and make sure that I get the dimensions that I want. So hopefully this makes drawers and cabinetry later down the line a bit easier.
Look around here, wasted on a ship of fools. Take my hand, just remember you don't have to surrender to the ocean and the sea. There's forever and a day for you and me. Here's to the future, I'm feeling stronger. We do belong here, look to the sky. Here's to the sooner or later, the ocean and the sea. Forever and a day for you and me.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another day building out the garage here. Since the last time I've checked in, I've gotten a couple things in that'll let me take the next couple steps. So that includes some riv nuts so I can finish mounting this bed framing piece here, as well as some electrical connectors that will let me hook up the DC outlet in the garage, which is this wire coming through the wall here. So with that, we'll get to it. The thing I forgot to mention I'm going to do is run one additional wire. So I forgot about wiring in a DC fan when I was doing all the wiring, so I'm just going to do that quick right now and then we'll start to reassemble the garage.
Here's to the future, I'm feeling stronger. We do belong here, look to the sky. Here's to the future, I'm feeling stronger.
So I've got these crimps on here from the wire coming from our power system, and now I just need to get similar quick disconnect crimps onto these wires, which are the wires for the outlet. This is an inline fuse. I'm actually going to cut this fuse out because we're going to have a fuse in the fuse box. Also, this will be behind the wall, and once the outlet is in, I need to get behind the wall to take the outlet out, and it's going to be really difficult to get behind the wall. So if this fuse ever does blow, this inline fuse would be just really difficult to get to. And like I said, I am going to fuse it in the fuse box. So it will be fused, but I don't want it fused in line. I've got the outlet hooked up now. And then before I make this connection, this little ring is what attaches it. So this goes behind the wall and then screws onto the threads on the outlet, and then just kind of pinches it onto the wall here. But I need to get this to the other side of the wall.
Here's to the sooner or later, the ocean and the sea. Forever and a day for you and me.
That's where I'm going to leave this video, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next one.